Hello, and welcome to the Today Show. I'm your host, Christopher Power, with Kojiko, your TV, Halton, on the Disability Channel. Our guest today, you may have seen him on North Country's Got Talent. Most likely you've heard his music with Country Nights in the City, or from Steeltown Songwriter Series. So stay tuned for country music sensation, Matt Rogers. Matt, welcome to our show, and hello.
Hey, how are you? Thanks so much for having me.
Oh, it's awesome to be here. Thank you. I'm doing well. So, Matt, we're going to get into it here with you. In 2021, you burst out onto the Canadian country music scene with a single, Real Good Kind of Thing. Now, I think I can speak to most when I ask, what took you so long?
That's a great question. For quite a few years, I kind of honed in on just this being a songwriter and, kind of harvesting that skill set. Had the opportunity to write with quite a few really interesting and cool people across Canada. And yeah, I had the opportunity in late 2019 to join two girls, Barbara Dora and Tamara Madeline, and we formed country music trio New Moon Junction. So we had started writing and got to our first release, Real Good Kind of Thing. But all the steps from songwriting and performing a little bit by myself in those songwriter series, that's what kind of led to 2021's Real Good Kind of Thing.
So you had to take your time, is what you're telling me, to get to where you were, and you wanted to make sure that you fell in love with it.
That's right. Yeah. I don't want to just kind of jump into something and not really know what I'm doing. So
Well, that's fair. I think a lot of us just kind of say, hey, let's go ahead and do this and figure it out. Well, at least I do anyway.
yeah. It's not an uncommon approach, right? Things look very intriguing. Let's dive in and get to it.
Yeah. So I got to ask you, out of all of the genres that you could possibly go to, why country? What was it about country music that really grabbed you?
Yeah, a lot of things. I grew up listening to country music. My parents were very integrated in country music, listened to it a lot. I'll be honest, it's not where I started. My younger years, I picked up an electric guitar. I played a lot of like alternative rock. I think I kind of transitioned into the country because I'm not a great electric guitar player. So the acoustic guitar for me was just a natural fit. And it kind of led me into country. I like to kind of look at my roots in country. I would think that my sound is more of a 90s kind of country feel, right? It's not too modern of the stuff you hear today, but it's not the totally old school kind of country that I grew up on. It's kind of that mixture of both that I really am just passionate and love. And also country music is a very storytelling type of genre, which I'm just all about. So.
Nice. Now, I notice there's not a lot of country twang in some of the songs that you've done. Is it because you're still learning how to pick up the banjo, or is that something that just sticking to acoustic for you?
Honestly, not enough twang because I don't have the accent to sing in a twang voice. But also, it's just, I'm regretfully not a fantastic guitar player. I can make my way by, but I'm a rhythm guitar player by nature. So I leave all the twang and the picking and banjo and mandolin up to the guys that I work with. So
Fair enough. When we talk about songwriting, and as you had mentioned that in 2019 you joined up and you started doing these songs. When we talk about writing a song, and this is more for your personal opinion there, when you get a song idea, how long does it take you to go from inception to picking up the guitar and saying, okay, I think this is what I want to do?
It can be a vast range. I've had stuff that's kind of come together within about a half an hour, and I've had stuff that takes about 30 days. So, for me, I'm a very melodic songwriter. So I really like to come up with a melody of a song and that catchiness, that hook that we all hear in a song before I start writing it. So I don't really sit down with a pen and paper until I pick up my guitar and kind of come up with something that I can hum or sing along with just random lyrics, and it sounds great. So
Beautiful.
I have a little bit of a backwards kind of trend with writing songs like that, but it works. So we'll stick with
That's
it.
good. So, as a family man, do you ever play your new songs for your family?
All the time, like every single one of them. And I love it because it's, I have two younger kids, my wife, so each of them has a different ear for what they might like, and it's so interesting when I write a song and I come up and I'm like, what do you guys think of this? And there's lots of nights I spend in this studio writing music, so when I come up with something, I'd rather them give it to me straight than I'm out there playing a show and people don't like it. So, there's a few where it's kind of come back and said, I don't know if that's your best. And that's code for put that one at the back burner.
That's awesome that they give you that honest feedback. I think you nailed it when you're at the bar and you're trying a new song, and people tend to leave the tables to go to the washroom or grab a
That's
beverage
right.
when you're playing. You're like, oh,
Yeah.
that one didn't work. But yeah, when your kids turn around and say, hey, Dad, that was just okay.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. So I value their feedback before anyone. So it's great.
Beautiful. Now, at one point earlier, we were talking about you joined up with these two lovely ladies at
Hmm.
New Moon Junction, and you
Yeah.
created three new singles. But now you're doing your own solo path. So again, I'm going to kind of ask the same question. What took you so long to be a solo careerist here? But what are the advantages and disadvantages of being on your own versus being with a band?
Yeah, I think a lot of what I like about doing things on my own is just and I don't mean this at all disrespectfully, it's at my own schedule, right? And so
Okay.
I'm not a full-time musician, unfortunately. So I have a day job, I have a family that I value spending time with. So just being a solo artist is a little bit more on my own schedule, which I really enjoy. And I think that's probably one of the biggest things is I set my own schedule. My family can be more involved in it. We do a little bit of traveling together for it. So yeah, I mean there was nothing. I mean, New Moon Junction was fantastic, and they've had a new member join, and they're going to continue on doing what they're doing, which is great. I wish them nothing but the best. But I just needed to kind of take a step back and look at me and what I value and what I wanted, and I think this new solo journey is going to be a good one. So.
Beautiful. Now, as a singer-songwriter, and we touched about how you're a rhythm guitar player by nature, is there an instrument that you just say, one day I'm going to grab that, and that's going to be the song?
Oh boy. I would honestly like to, if I could just pick up one instrument and go with it, it would be the drums. I can tap my foot like there's no tomorrow, and that's what gets me through songwriting. But the actual to be a percussionist or a drummer, that would be one thing I would just, oh, that'd be a dream, but that's a lot of work.
Do you think, in your professional opinion, if you said, "Hey, I'm going to pick up the drumsticks tomorrow and do this," do you think that you could do a solo country song just on the drums?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes. Yeah, that's a good challenge. It's a good challenge.
well, that'd be really neat to see. I'm going to challenge you to it. I think you got to go
Yeah.
buy one of those drum kits now.
That's it. I'm just gonna go get a drum kit and just start to write a country song with nothing but a beat.
Now, you have a new single out, and it's definitely one that people are going to want to hear. And, I'm going to ask you, can you play that new single for us?
I'd love to. Yeah, yeah.
So, what we're going to do then is we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, country music sensation Matt Rogers is going to play us his new single.
Great. Perfect.
Stay tuned.
All about inclusion and really giving everyone a fair say.
Welcome to the Today Show. This is our flagship show. I am Unstoppable Tracy.
I am Zach Damon.
It is a pleasure to be here. I am excited. What is up?
We have
a great show today.
Jay Stoyan here for the Disability Channel, the world's only inclusive channel for and by persons with disabilities.
Get ready to be inspired, everyone.
We have people watching from all over the world, but also all over Ontario.
We also take a concerted attention in the veterans community.
In moments of stress and trauma, we can get a hold of ourselves.
To help make a difference for people with disabilities, to show people how to love themselves or their disability.
I appreciate it. I appreciate you guys having me, giving this platform for myself and other people with disabilities.
Thank you so much, folks, for joining us for this episode of the Disability Channel of Detroit. Please tune in next time.
Welcome back to the Today Show. I'm your host, Christopher Power, and we're joined today by country music sensation Matt Rogers. Matt has agreed to play his new single for us, so stay tuned. Go ahead, Matt, whenever you're ready.
Right on. So this is the new single dropped last Friday called Crazy, and it goes a little something like this. I was walking down Sunset Boulevard with the weight of the world on my shoulders. Not that anyone had noticed. One drink, maybe two, and I'll be alright. So I saw you standing on stage under neon lights. You were singing my song and you didn't know it. You were telling my story with every word, and I was going a little bit crazy for you, baby. Hanging on every word you sang. Going a little bit crazy for you, baby. And I don't even know your name, but that won't stop me tonight. 'Cause I've never felt this kind of crazy. I made my way to the front of the stage, trying to make my move. Had nothing to lose. Got lost in that look in your eyes. With everybody in the room, it was just me and you. You were singing my song, and you didn't know it. You were telling my story with every word, and I was going a little bit crazy for you, baby. Hanging on every word you sang. Going a little bit crazy for you, baby. And I don't even know your name, but that won't stop me tonight. 'Cause I've never felt this kind of crazy. No, that won't stop me tonight. I was going a little bit crazy for you, baby. Hanging on every word you sang. Going a little bit crazy for you, baby. And I don't even know your name, but that won't stop me tonight. 'Cause I've never felt this kind of crazy.
Wow, Matt. That's a great song. And again, I'm going to ask you, what the heck took you so long?
Yeah, yeah, I know it's taken a while, but I'm here and I'm here to play. So that's it.
Now, It seems like when I'm listening to this song that it's about love at first sight. Now, is this a song a secret nod to your wife, or does she know it's about her?
No, it's kind of one of those secret nods, right? Like she has an idea, but when I wrote this song, I mean, everything that I try to write as a songwriter, I write about personal experiences, but I try to tell a story that can be related to so many. So, unfortunately, I didn't meet my wife in a bar sitting there and just walking in, but the story behind it and the meaning behind it is absolutely what I feel. It's kind of that love at first sight. You see her and just sweeps you off your feet. So, yeah, I don't know. It's just kind of one of those songs that hopefully relate to a lot of people, but have a bit of a hidden personal meaning behind it.
So when we talk about this song, and as you said, you didn't meet your wife at a bar. When we talk about the idea and the inception of the song, I'm going to ask you, where did you meet your wife?
I actually met my wife when we were teenagers and we were working together. So it stems back that long. It's kind of hard to believe we've been together as long as we have. But yeah, teenagers at work. And I mean, when you're that young, where else do you meet somebody? Just kind of, you work together and then yeah, the rest is history.
Well, I mean, you're young enough that all of those dating apps on your phone were available, right?
No, I believe it or not, they were not available back then.
Yeah, along with the internet. It's weird when we talk about going back in time and meeting our significant others and partners. And, now it's almost people are afraid to get out there and make those mistakes and get that type of rejection. But I mean, that's the advancement with technology, I guess.
That's right. Yeah, that's the upside of technology is it eliminates the face-to-face downfalls that could happen. But
that was a wonderful song. We're going to take a quick break, but don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Hi, this is Dave Stevens for the Disability Channel.
An inability to break out. I'm sitting by the door on the second floor, losing my 7-year war. It's not an illusion, so why the exclusion?
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's about you. So,
You say you're a disability dynamo.
Joining me and welcome to this beautiful Travelers Championship.
I only want one accolade from you.
So my story is unique, it's amazing, but it's not anything that you guys don't have inside of you. I'm not a hero, I'm not anybody special, I'm just this guy without legs that went out, and I just did it.
Stats outweigh the Democrats, the diplomats, and the bureaucrats.
This is probably your first interview down on the ground on your butt and stuff like that?
First time ever,
All
baby.
right.
Eliminate, invalidate, invalidate, invalidate.
Stay with us and the Disability Channel.
Welcome back to the Today Show. Our guest today is country music sensation Matt Rogers, who's making us all go a little crazy with his new single.
Thank you.
The song is fabulous, and you can hear the love and passion in your voice. When you were singing this, did you produce this at home? Like, where do you produce your music?
Yeah, so this song here was produced by an amazing producer out of Waterloo, Ontario called Sean Moore. I met him quite some time ago through a bit of an online networking event, and we just kind of hit it off. I mean, he's very much like myself. He's a very likable guy, honest, upfront. But I've heard the stuff that he was creating for a lot of independent artists in Ontario, and it just kind of spoke to me. And I knew that I wanted to strike up the conversation with him and see what we would look like together, right? And what the sound and the output of Crazy would be. And we got in the studio and kind of hammered it out, and it's exactly what I was hoping for. So
That's awesome. So are you able to do a solo independent with the help of Sean Moore with this beautiful single that is on Spotify as well? Is that right?
yeah, you can actually find Crazy on all streaming platforms, whatever you use. You can go get it off my site, which is mattrogersmusic.ca. And as of Monday, it hit country music radio across Canada. So
Wow,
hopefully,
congratulations.
go request it at your local country station. You'll be able to hopefully hear it wherever you are.
So is there a music video coming up next that we can get onto MTV for you?
That is still in debate. I'm not too sure. I mean, quite possibly. You never know.
Fair enough. Now, can you give us a sneak peek inside that head of yours? What can we expect from you in the future?
Yeah, I mean, I have a lot of things in the works right now. Always, I mean, keeping up with songwriting and collaborating with different songwriters. So you'll definitely see a lot more music come out from Matt Rogers. Maybe a couple collaborations in the works with some other artists across Ontario or Canada. So I don't know. I got a lot of things cooking in the fire. It's all just depends on what I decide to come out with next. So
Fair enough. Most singer-songwriters, they typically have this trusty notebook with them at all times when inspiration may or may not strike them. Is that something that you do as well, or are you more of a pulling out your cell phone and hitting the recording app?
yeah, I am very much a technology driven guy. So my iPhone and the voice memo button is my best friend. I find it just an easy transition with that because the notepad can't remember my harmonies or my melodies that I'm thinking. So yeah, I have so many voice memos ongoing that whenever something strikes me, I just hit record and away we go.
Do you ever get one of those moments in the middle of the night, you wake up, you're hitting record, and at 3 a.m., you're like, hey, that sounds amazing. And then you play it back and you're in the morning and you're like, what the heck is that?
I have. It didn't wake me up at night, but I've always found myself during the course of a day, like if I'm at work or something and I hear something, I'll just, it strikes a chord and I'll do a voice memo. And all the time you listen back on some and you're like, what was going on there?
So, Matt, I want to ask you, in your opinion, what's something that we as a society just need to stop doing?
I don't really know. That's a great question. Stop doing? I don't know. I think instead of stop doing something, I think people should be more recognizing the independent talent that there is in the music industry in whatever province or country you live in. We tend to listen to the radio or put on our favorite Apple playlist. And it's primarily all those big names that we see out in the world, which is fantastic. But there is so much talent out there, that there just needs to be highlighted. So if I could say, don't be narrow enough just to segment yourself into the most popular music that you hear. Expand your portfolio of music into a lot of independent artists.
So, I mean, you kind of pointed at people load up their app and they hit their favorite person or their favorite group and away they go. What are some resources, if you know any, where people can learn more about independent music?
Yeah, I mean, it's great whenever you, first and foremost, a lot of independent music that's being put out there, in most cases, is available at your local radio station. So call in and request those songs. In order to find the songs, I mean, go into your Spotify, Amazon, Apple Music, and look at more, indie playlists that they have, which highlight a lot more of those independent artists that may not have a label or, a backing of, money behind them to be able to do what they love. So there's a lot of different avenues you can find it. You just kind of got to look for it.
It sounds like a lot of work, Matt. I hope there's an app to help me out.
Yes.
So what words of advice or encouragement would you give to those fellow singer-songwriters out there that have yet to make it or yet to break out on their own with that level of confidence that Matt Rogers has?
Yeah, I mean, my piece of advice, because I give it to myself every day, is don't set your goals too high, right? Like we love writing music, we love playing music as independent artists. Just do what you love. And if you put hard work and dedication into it, something will come of it. But if you set your goals too high, and you might just find yourself disappointed. And that's one thing, like truly what I do for myself is I always just believe the outcome will be what it'll be. And if I put in the time and the hard work, and nowadays, you know, people are posting on social media and this, that, and the other for visibility, you know, if you put the time into that, then something good will come of it. Right. But if I was to set myself my goals too high and never be able to achieve that, it sometimes can be a little draining.
It's kind of like building a roof without a house to put it on.
That's right. Yep.
And where can people learn more about you, Matt?
Yeah, so they can learn about me. I mean, follow me. You can follow me on Facebook at Matt Rogers Music, Instagram at its_Matt Rogers Music. You can find me on my website. Keep up, you know, join the mailing list on that. You'll keep up with live shows and new music, and that is mattrogersmusic.ca. Yeah, pretty much every digital, like social platform and website, I'm out there. So
now, when you talk about mattrogersmusic.ca, what can we expect to find on your website?
yeah, you can. I mean, it's you can find a little bit more about me if you wanted to get to know a little bit more about me. You can find, you know, some places that I'm playing at, new upcoming shows. You can get some of my music on there. I have a new merch store out there, so you can get yourself Matt Rogers merch if you so choose, which I have to say is looking pretty good. So you know, I got shirts and hats and all that fun stuff available, but yeah, it's a very interactive site. There's lots of stuff going on there, lots of information, music. So certainly go there and check me out for sure.
And signed guitars and CDs and records coming soon, right?
We're not quite there yet, but someday, yeah.
Fantastic. Well, I have one last question for you, Matt, and it is kind of a personal question, but what makes Matt Rogers smile?
I would honestly just have to say the love of what I do. I mean, on an everyday basis, I mean, music aside, I mean, everything together, right? I get up in the morning, I have a beautiful family. I have to be thankful for that, right? We have a roof over our head. I have to be thankful for that. I have a job to go to that I'm super passionate about, and I have to be thankful for that. So basically just waking up and knowing that, I mean, every day is kind of a good day in the life of Matt Rogers. So, I mean, be thankful for it. And yeah, that's, I don't know. I don't really walk around without a smile on my face, just because if I do, it's not good for anyone, right? It's everyone wants to see people smile and be happy. And, you know, thankfully, I have a lot to be happy for. So,
well, that's a beautiful answer. Well, don't forget to check out Matt Rogers on Spotify and head over to mattrogersmusic.ca. Head on over to the disabilitychannel.ca and our YouTube channel for more great content. I'm your host, Christopher Power. Have a fantastic day and smile to inspire. Thank you.